This is Mike Koenigs. I'm going to demonstrate a tool that I've really found to be super useful. It is called the Comet browser. It was recently released by the Perplexity team. And don't you wish you had a browser that you could give it instructions and have it browse and surf and do tasks for you? Maybe organize a whole bunch of stuff, study or visit your email. Maybe you could just tell it simple things like open up a whole bunch of tabs that I normally have open in a workspace and start doing stuff for you. Well, that's the promise of the Comet browser. I'm going to show you my specific use cases in just a couple of moments. But first of all, the biggest objection will people have, it'll be, well, it's $200 a month at this moment. I'm sure that'll change soon. For me, I'm getting more than $200 a month worth of value out of using it. I'll show you that in a moment. But first, I want to describe my use case so you understand the context of how I'm using it, because this is a simple yet super advanced way to think about using AI. And it also answers the question, which is which AI should I use and when? This is a chart that I put together because typically when I am solving a problem, I don't just use one AI. I use about 10 of them simultaneously. And that's one of the ways that I use the Comet browser very successfully. So my Swiss Army knife is, as you can imagine, ChatGPT. I use it all the time. And it continues to get good. Is it the best all the time? No, I have no loyalty to any tool at any given time whatsoever. I also use Claude frequently because it's a really good copywriting and development tool. My second go-to, however, is GenSpark. It is probably the most flexible of all of the tools, and it's considered a super agent, which basically means it automates multi-step tasks. It thinks ahead. And it also creates amazing documents. It writes good code. They just added a design feature. And it's my general purpose go-to for most things other than ChatGPT. Then, of course, there's Grok from Elon and Team XAI. It is not a censored model, which is often really useful, especially if you absolutely despise arguing with these stupid AIs that decide that something is not okay for whatever reason it may be. That's up to me, not it, especially if I'm paying for it. That's my opinion. Perplexity is a good research tool. Manus is my second favorite of all the super agents, unbelievably powerful. And then there's a few you may not have heard of before: Minimax, Abacus, and Kimi. They are from China. So just know that along with Chinese technology comes Chinese risks. However, these tools are so powerful. Again, I don't have any loyalty to any tool. I just want my stuff done. So I'm going to show you a prompt, and then I'm going to head over and use this in Comet so you'll see my specific use case. So this is a prompt that basically will put into Comet that says, hey, open each of these tools in a different tab browser with everything that I use. So I'm going to just grab that right now. I'll copy it, and then I'm going to bop on over to Comet Assistant. And the way you use it is there's a little button in the top right that says it's Assistant. And if I paste in that one command and hit Enter, what you're going to see happen in just a moment is this thing is going to do, in fact, what I told it to, which is open a whole bunch of browser tabs. Now you might be saying, oh man, that is, who cares about that? But this is where compounding tool usage gives you your time back. And if I wanted to research something or I wanted to work on a problem, what I always do is I use 8 or 10 tools and I give them all the same commands simultaneously to solve whatever problem I have. So, you know, let's say, for example, I was researching something for a podcast, and I was just on a podcast earlier today. I wanted to learn everything I possibly could about that individual and the podcast. Well, I could pop in a command. So now I'm going to give it a different instruction, however, and I'm going to show you again how I use a lot of AI tools to solve problems. And at any given time, there's some tools that won't do what you want it to at all. So I'm going to find a topic that I'm interested in learning about. And let's say, here's something new. Here's the new GenSpark AI browser, although this isn't long enough to matter. But I'm going to find something that I want to learn something deeply about. Okay, here's, and I want to find a longer video that I'd ask AI to summarize for me. Again, my objective is I want to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can on a given topic. So here's something on Gemini. I'm going to grab that link. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to pop in a pre-made prompt that I use all the time when I want to research or learn something. And in this particular case, and I'll explain what it does in a moment, but I'm going to say, teach me about, let's see what this topic was that I just looked up. Oh yeah, Gemini, one person startup with Gemini. That sounds interesting to me. One person startup. Now, this command basically goes out and says, hey, go out and look at a transcript from YouTube and summarize this, give me all the details, and build me a beautiful report. So I'm going to give that to ChatGPT. I'm going to head over and give the same exact prompt to Claude. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with Grok. And yes, there are some tools that can automate this. However, I found that they suck. And I found that I get better results when I talk to every one of these tools simultaneously. Now I'm going to go over to my current favorite, which is incredibly powerful. This is GenSpark again. And there you can see, new GenSpark designer. I'm going to use a tool, it's called GenSpark Docs, which is incredibly valuable and powerful because it actually builds really beautiful documentation and information. Now let's head on over to one of my other favorites, good old Manus, another Chinese super agent, but it does chain of thought. It is really, really smart. And then there's Minimax, boom, same prompt inside of Abacus, another super agent. Same prompt inside another super agent called Skywork. And here's another one, Kimi, really, really smart. So now that I've got all of these AIs working simultaneously, here's a limitation with ChatGPT. One of the many reasons why I hate it a lot of the time, and it comes back and lies to me, hey, I can totally do this, Mike, but here's the cold, hard truth. I can't access the actual video content or pull screenshots from YouTube, all right? So basically, it's lying to me and saying it can't do anything. So in this particular case, worthless. All right, but if I would have had to sit around and wait for one dumb tool to tell me that it can't do something after it looked it up, I'd be pissed. Well, here we go. Now it looks as though, yep, here's another one. Claude can't do it either. It can't go out and visit, and it's basically going out. It made an assumption that it wanted something I didn't ask for, so it's wasting my time, money, and energy on something absolutely worthless. Okay. Grok, let's see. Let's see here in this one. Nope, I don't know what it's doing, but it's not doing the right thing. Maybe Perplexity's doing it. Google AI Studio, it looks like I forgot to hit the enter button, so that goes off. GenSpark, on the other hand, look at this. This is one of the reasons I freaking love this tool. It has gone out and not only grabbed this this content like I asked it to, it's building a beautiful document with an executive summary, video summary. It's got time codes and effectively giving me a summary of that entire video. This is one of my shortcuts to learning and studying massive volumes of information very, very quickly. Manus looks like it's doing it. Again, this is a chain of thought bot. But it looks like, oh yeah, in this particular case, you can see it's hung up trying to log into YouTube, and it can't access the transcript, so it doesn't look like it can do it. Here is Minimax. It may or may not do it, but it's waiting for me to give it permission to continue because it built a plan. I'm going to just say do it. I'll go over to Abacus. It's asked me a bunch of questions. Make me a downloadable document. All right. Of course, it didn't. make me a downloadable document in Microsoft Word format. So it's busily doing what I asked it to. How about Skywork? Well, looks like it's figuring something out here. Oh, yep, this one's hung up trying to log into YouTube. All right, well, how about Kimi? Yep, looks like this one did it. Kimi, Kimi did exactly what I asked for. So this is why I love to use Comet. It's because, again, at any given time, if you are frustrated when you're using some of these AI tools, you're not getting the output you want, you feel like you're arguing with it, and also you suspect that maybe one of these things is actually lying to you, well, why wouldn't you fire up 10 at the same time and pick a good banana? And so at the end of the day, I'm all about getting the most done in the shortest period of time with the least amount of hassle, fewest number of arguments, and no drama. One of the things I love about Comet is it enables me to accelerate the speed that I open things up. Now, one of the things it doesn't do, for example, is what I would love to do is give it a compound prompt that says, hey, open up all these tabs and paste in this one prompt in all of these windows and hit enter and execute and let me know when they're done. Well, it doesn't do that. So is Comet perfect? Nope. Does it have a long way to go? Uh-huh. Is it pretty good? Yep. Is it worth $200? I think so. And again, at the end of the day, how do you get stuff done in the shortest period of time? And my most valuable strategy is get a whole bunch of AIs working on these simultaneously. Now, do I pay for all of them? Yes, I do. But if you think about it, you can get a room full of geniuses with IQs that far surpasses most humans working for you for $20 a month. Is that a good investment? Absolutely. Do I mind throwing an extra $200 on that so I can automate even more and get stuff done a little bit quicker and compress more time? Absolutely. So if you enjoyed this, I have an extended training where I go into even more depth with a whole bunch of other use cases. That is available at aiaccelerator.com/replay. So I'll leave it at that. Is it perfect? It isn't. Have I enjoyed using it? Uh-huh. And it certainly has expanded my ability to get more done faster. So for that, I'm going to continue subscribing to Comet. And I would suspect that in a fairly short period of time, you'll probably be able to get it for $20 a month, or it'll be included in your Perplexity subscription. But hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to seeing you in another one very, very soon. And I will end by showing you that prompt I had a little while ago that opened up all the tabs with all of the tools I use.